for episode 50. That's right, episode 50 of Portugal the Simple Life podcast. I'm joined by the legendary Rui Veloso. Rui Veloso is one of the most well-known names in Portuguese music and widely considered the father of Portuguese rock and roll. Myself and Rui discuss, amongst other things, performing with B.B. King, why he loves performing all over the country, what makes him proud of Portugal, and just for you, the wonderful listeners of Portugal the Simple Life podcast, Rui gives us an exclusive performance. Welcome back, or welcome to another episode of Portugal the Simple Life. Saúde, Rui. I'm so excited and nervous to be joined by a wonderful guest, Rui Veloso. Rui, hi, and thank you for joining us.
Hi. I'm glad to be here. I got loads of time, and I love doing these unexpected things. So it's cool.
Wonderful, Rui. For our Portuguese listeners, you don't need any introduction. But maybe for a few people that are sitting overseas and in different places, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I'm 63 years old now. I'm from Porto. I lived my whole life, at least until 22. I lived in Porto, so I did my schooling in Porto. And at 22, I was already playing and composing stuff. I came to Lisbon with a demo, and I eventually stayed and did a record just before I was 23. And so I've lived since in Lisbon and close by. I've been, I turned a professional musician when I was 22, and now 40 years after, I'm still a professional. I still have quite a nice success here with the Portuguese. So mainly that to wrap it.
Okay, Rui, let's talk a little bit about on the podcast. Our listeners love to hear about where our guests are from, their terra, their land. I know you're based in Sintra, but I suppose you would consider Porto your terra?
Yes. My accent comes from Porto. I still have an accent.
Okay.
And yes, Porto is a very special place with very special people. I mean, mainly the people do the place. So it's a very special people, I would say, the people from Porto, very generous, very hard people. But when they get to be friends, they are friends for life. So that's the way people, very, very honest, very blunt people from Porto. They say what they mean. And so that's kind of the character of people from Porto. And I think because of Porto, what it is, because the people of Porto, and also, of course, my parents, which came from different places. I mean, my mom is actually from Nazaré, but she lived the whole life in Lisbon, but she's from Nazaré. My father was born in the mountains in Serra da Estrela, but he came very early to Porto with my grandparents because they were school teachers. My grandfather and my grandmother, she taught the girls, and my grandfather was the boys, and so they were like how do you call the school? Escola primária here. It's
primary school.
Primary school. They were very important. Those times the primary school teachers, were like a basis, like a complement of the house, where you learn the stuff in the house with your parents, but then it's kind of an extension of the parents is this primary school. It used to be like that. Nowadays, I'm not so sure.
No, a lot has changed. Now I know
Yeah.
I read that your dad became the first mayor of Porto after the revolution.
Yes, the
Um,
first one elected.
the first elected mayor. I mean, that's
Yes.
a big thing. I mean, what was it like at that time? Maybe you could just shed some light on the changes that were happening at that stage and what you remember about it.
It was not that nice, I tell you about that. It was like a nightmare for my mom because those were different days. My daddy didn't want to have security in front of the house, nothing. He was like a very, he was an engineer. He was a chemist engineer, but he was not a politician. And a lot of friends from different places, political ideas, kind of forced him to do that. And he was a very humble and very very special man, and he was very much connected to people. Very very humble man, very intelligent, very cultured man. With my mom too. So it was not a very nice time because every day for 3 years we had like people at 7:30 in the morning and at night when my dad came home, asking for all kinds of stuff, like mainly housing, which is your stuff now. So it was very hard on my mom, especially. For us, it was kind of well, our dad is the mayor, okay, but we were doing our stuff, but it was a very different time, and he had lots of regrets about that because he was elected as an independent um, from the Socialist Party here in 76, 77. And the most problems he had in there were with the guys from the Socialist Party, because even then they wanted like in Portugal, that they wanted like a little favor here, a little, that kind of thing. And my father was like my uncle. He was to be like a main military guy, and also in the North region. And uh, they used to treat people all the same. It's all the same. It doesn't matter which party it is. So it was not good for him, that, because he thought it was something was this way and it just went sideways. So, but I have no, so that's, I have no, I don't miss it.
Don't miss that time.
No, that's just miss my dad.
Yes. And do you miss Porto? Do you miss the town, the city, while you're in Sintra, and do you miss Porto at all? What do you miss about Porto?
Porto is always inside me. I have this connection with the town that I always get messages. I just gave an interview in RTP, and I got a lot of messages from people from Porto. Part of the interview was in my high school, and so I'm always connected to the city, and I'm always connected because the city is mainly the people, and so I'm always connected to the people, and so I love my hometown. I love the people. I love the country. I love the Portuguese people because I play, as you know, I played in all the places in Portugal, but I love Portugal. But my town is always inside me, so I try to go often to see my mom and my family, my sister, my brother, my nephews, and all that. But still always inside me.
It's a great city. It's a great city. My wife and
Very.
I,
It's a small one. It's like for most of Europe and in England and South Africa, and it's just a small town, but with a very special character, let us say,
Yeah.
personality.
But I mean, don't you find that about I mean, Portugal, for such a small country, we've got these just incredible places, so diverse, so different. Each one
Yeah,
has its uniqueness. You mentioned your mom is from Nazaré. I didn't know that. I lived in Nazaré.
that's incredible.
Played music in Nazaré,
That's
played some of your
incredible.
songs, in Nazaré. Wonderful. I mean, did you visit often Nazaré as a boy? And what are your
Yeah, yeah.
memories?
Every year, up to like 10 years, 10 years in a row, I spent my holidays in Nazareth. My most cute picture is from Nazareth when I was 1 year old. So I and now Nazareth, there was such a huge bust in construction, and in city where I used to spend my holidays was in city and go down to Praia and to the beach. But Nazareth, you were talking about the whole all the diversity of Portugal, and Nazareth's got like this way of talking. Maria, que vais tu fazer? It's only in Nazareth. If you go to Peniche, which the old enemies from Peniche, they don't speak like that. It's just about Nazareth and the way they speak.
Yeah,
It's
the first time
so
I
funny.
visited, my first time to Nazaré, when the ladies used to talk to me, I used to think they were singing to me, and it
Yeah,
took
kind
a
of. It's
while.
sung. It's
Yeah.
sexy. Hello. My grandmother and my grandfather were from Pederneiras.
Okay. Yeah, Pernambuco is amazing.
Yeah, it's part of my family is buried there in the cemetery.
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
It's a beautiful
Gaudencio is the
part.
name. It's
Wow.
Gaudencio.
It's a beautiful
Yeah,
part of town. It's a beautiful part of town.
yeah. Funny that you live there. It's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. I spent a good
What a
couple of years in
coincidence.
Nazaré. It's crazy. Small world that we live in.
Small Portugal.
Rui, you spoke about your dad, and how he was connected to the people, and
Yeah.
I must say, you are probably the most well-known name in music in Portugal. Many consider you the father of Portuguese rock. But something that I've always felt is that you are, as like your dad, you're connected to the people in this country. I mean, can you describe what it feels to you to perform all over the country, to be loved, to have your music sung? What does that feel like for you?
I always feel blessed and lucky. I don't know why I ended up like this. It's kind of a mystery to me because I was studying. Of course, I had my dad's guitar lying around somewhere, and I started playing, and then I was very interested in music, but it was just a thing. It was I was supposed to be something else, and I'm always amazed where I got to, and I'm always amazed how I can, do songs without knowing music. I don't know anything about music. I don't read. Reading music is kind of like reading Cyrillic or Chinese characters is not like that, but it's kind of I don't understand it. I play guitar and I don't know what I'm playing. I don't know the chords. I don't know the names of the chords because I know the chords. So I always feel blessed, and to get to this point of being loved by people. I mean, yeah, I go to Porto. I feel the love of the people. I'm driving my car, and I feel the love of I play in Porto. I feel the love of the town, of the people. But I feel it. I mean, mostly in all Portugal. So I'm just blessed. It's a very weird feeling because it keeps me home. My privacy is gone many years ago. So I always feel free when I go to Africa, when I go to Kruger Park, when I go to Gorongosa, and I love Mozambique, when I go to other places. And there I feel free. But here I feel a little caged. But because I feel caged, because I'm loved. And so it's better to feel caged because you're loved than feel caged because you're hated.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I would imagine so. Rui, you've performed all over the country. Are there any particular places, venues, towns that you really, really enjoy playing?
You know, um, Dylan, the gigs, they are always different. My gigs, I do improvise a lot in the gigs. I have some certain solos like Portugal or La Lunar that I have I do the solos, but mostly I do the improvised solos. I improvise the singing. I don't sing the songs the same way. Sometimes the voice is better. Sometimes the voice is worse. Sometimes the sound is better. Sometimes the sound is worse. Sometimes the sound is fantastic. Sometimes it's not that much. So it's always different. So maybe one day in a small town up north, I do a fantastic gig, and then I go to Porto and I play for a few thousand people, and the thing doesn't go that well because of this and because of that. So it's always the stage is always a thrill. The thrill is not gone.
Nice.
So like the song I played with BB King in Porto, that was quite a thrill. And we play the song that it's called "The Thrill Is Gone," but it's never gone to us. Me, BB is up there, and all those guys. It's like the immortal place we have in this earth. It's like the immortal place is the stage. When you
So
get out of the stage, then you're immortal again.
yeah, it's true. I saw that I saw that you performed a few times with BB King. Our American
Yeah.
listeners would be really excited to hear about that. What was that like? And you tell us about your experience of performing with him and being around him.
Yeah. I mean, who would expect that? I started being interested in the blues very, very young. Well, at 14 years old, 13 years old, probably. And when I picked the guitar, uh, I was going for the blues. So I started playing with BB. I put the record on and I played along with the guys, like a lot of people. And suddenly you are 33, like I was 33, and I was playing with, and it was really difficult because the first time I played with BB, I just knew BB. I didn't know the musicians. I didn't get to know them, not even backstage. So I came in. I didn't have a sound check. I didn't know what songs we are going to play. We were going to play. I asked BB, said, what are we going to play? He said, oh, we're going to play the blues. Yeah, okay, I know. And that was it. So when I came on stage, I came on in the middle of the song. He asked for me, and then I started playing. I just started playing in the song that was. I don't remember what song it was. But I know I was really, really nervous. Really, really, really. It was really difficult. But anyway, I had like 8 whiskeys before, just to cool it down a bit.
A bit.
Probably.
It must have cooled you down a lot.
Yeah, no, I was okay because
Yeah.
the adrenaline was so much that I wasn't even half drunk. Half. It was very difficult because when I got on stage, my guitar They played too loud. They played loud, and I thought it was like a light thing, and they played too loud, and my guitar was slow, and I had like to play it hard to listen to it, and I was kind of I was struck. I couldn't move and put the amp a little louder. I was like, yeah. So, but then that was the first time. The second time was also in the studio. Third and fourth time was 2 gigs in Porto, 30 years ago. Those were better because I changed the guitar. I knew the sound. They played loud, so I put it louder. And then after that, I played with Bibi in 96 and then at the Expo 98. So I was his guest in the Expo 98, and there we played both seated, and I think that was a good one. That was and Bibi was such a nice man. He was very much a ladies' man. Yeah, he was a ladies' man.
I mean, imagine you managed. You spoke about on the stage. You guys were immortal. Off the stage, mortals. What about a mortal experience with Bibi? Where would you take him for dinner? What would you eat, and what would you guys drink if you had that opportunity again?
Bibi was mainly an American. Americans, like back then, 30 years ago, in what comes to taste in food, they were like close to zero. He was like not like in Portugal, as you know. So I would take him to my restaurant that I had back then. I had a restaurant in Porto from 92 onwards, and I would take him there and eat like the proper Portuguese food with a good Portuguese Douro wine. That's I would take him there, absolutely, and he would love it. He would love it.
What would you feed him? A rospato? Something
well,
red,
we had
fish?
actually in my restaurant we had a very very good rospat, duck rice, but we had like a lot of typical Portuguese dishes like bacalhau à gomos de sá, arroz de polvo, octopus rice with the filets de polvo, all that kind of cozido, tripas. It was a very good restaurant, expensive one. We had a lot of people there, like Mick Jagger, I don't know, John Malkovich, Marcello Mastroianni, Paul Newman, Steve Martin. A lot of people went to my restaurant, like Alanis Morissette. I mean, a lot of actors. It was a great restaurant in front of Rio Douro. So I had it for a few years. And it was I didn't make any money though. No money. I spent, but it was a good one. So it was a good place for Bibi to go.
And what about this country for you, Rui, as a place that inspired you to create music? I was speaking a few days ago with Fatima Lopes for the podcast as well, and one of the things that she said is that for people that create, they need to be in a place that makes them feel happy, that brings them joy, where they feel things. I mean, what has this country given you the room to create? Has it inspired you, and in what way?
Yeah, Dylan, I think so. This country is you kind of feel pretty free in this country. There's no censorship. It used to be now in the social media. There's a lot of censorship. There's a lot of stupid people, as you know, but still is a very free country, and you're allowed to experiment. It still is a country when it's not a country. You're not allowed to be very good. It's very difficult to be very good in this country because there's a lot of envy. It's like it's the Latin way of being. Spain is the same, Italy is the same, and it's not easy. Still, we have access to a lot of things, and I've always learned with the best. So I put the CD on, I put the records on, and I always try to learn with the best. Some are here, but most of them come from the United States, from England, from many places that I learned from. So it's kind of a mix of this freedom that we feel here, like being in the wild almost here in Portugal, and then other places where I get my influences from. And it's a blend of that has allowed me to to compose and be influenced by many styles, and my all my music is filled with different styles. It's not just one style. It's not the blues. It's not rock and roll. It's not Brazilian. It's not jazz. It's a whole blend of Africa with American, Europe, and and sometimes even with Asian and stuff, because I always also listen to that kind of a Pakistanis, Indian, and even Chinese and Japanese stuff, and from wherever.
Yeah, we like to blend in Portugal. It's something that I've noticed living here for the last 12 years. We see it in
You're a
our
blender
food.
too.
I'm really blended. I'm a huge blend of things. But
You're a blender also.
I'm a blender. Yeah, I'm blending. But I mean, we see it in our architecture. We see it in our food. We see it in our music. There is this culture in Portugal of we don't mind taking ideas from somewhere else and using it in a different way. And you've done that in your music. Is that something that you see here as well?
The people is not afraid of that. That's why I always think when there's a few people in Lisbon and Porto, big towns that want to accuse generalize the people as being Portuguese, being a racist people, and I think it's very unfair to most of the people in Portugal that they like everybody. They don't have vices like that. The people like to get them in their homes. There's a lot of good hospitality. They like to share the food, and it's very unjust, unfair to the Portuguese people to accuse them, and because of one or two guys,
yeah,
accuse the whole people of being like that. It's very unfair.
Yeah,
very much.
And I mean, in terms of the way that we create, do you feel like we open to one of the things that I've noticed again in Portugal, and we've spoken it a few times about collaboration. I know you've collaborated a lot in your musical career. You've played with many different types of people.
Many.
I saw the other day, even on Instagram, I think it was, you performed online with a young lady. That was phenomenal. It is something in the Portuguese culture as well, that we collaborate and we work together, and we find a way to blend our resources.
Yeah, and be open to other cultures. It's the main thing, because we're just part of the universe, but part of the planet. We're just a part of it. The planet is not only us. If we're over, the planet will go on living like it has been for so many millions of years. So this kind of a human race that is inhabiting our planet nowadays think they own the land. We don't own the land. We sell the land, but we don't own the land. The land owns us. We just here we borrow the land. We go away. The land stays. Everything stays. It's just like that. So it's quite natural for us to be curious about other cultures, other people. It's so good to learn, isn't it? So good to learn. It's so good to blend. There's wonderful people everywhere in the world, you know.
As someone that's traveled so much throughout the world, throughout Portugal, played in front of different people, seen Portugal in a different way to most, seen more of Portugal than what most people would have seen. What are the things that you appreciate and are proud of about this country?
Um, of course, the food is kind of an example of the inventive ways the Portuguese have to do the same, do different with the same material, you know, because it's the basis is always the same for the food, and you get different food from up north in Trás-os-Montes to Minho, which is different already, and then Porto, and then go to Nazaré, and you go to the whole coast, the fish, and then you go to Alentejo and go to interior to it's and then you go to Algarve. It's so inventive. So the Portuguese can do a lot of stuff with the same things, and yeah, that's nice. That's something I appreciate from the Portuguese is also its ability to speak other languages. I don't understand how, but that's a fact. If you go to Spain or France, or Italy, it's very difficult for them to speak English and English. I mean, other languages much more difficult. And in Portugal, we all understand the French. We all understand the English, even without even having learned the idioms. So, and it's it's basically nice people, good-hearted people. I know it is. We got some, bad people, but mainly the people is very, very friendly and very honest and very. There's a lot of plain, pure hospitality the Portuguese have with anybody. Like they're coming from Africa, coming from Arab countries. It doesn't matter. From England, it doesn't matter.
I agree.
Because you're half Portuguese by now.
I love this place so much. I couldn't imagine living anywhere else, Rui. I couldn't imagine. But let me tell you about
one of my name properly,
Yeah, it took some time. I say it better than BB King. He called you Roy.
Yeah. Roy. He didn't even know my second name, Veloso. No, it's just Roy.
That's good.
Where are you, Roy?
Well, let me tell you about my first sort of connection to your music, and I'm going to follow it up with a question eventually. Okay. I'm a musician. I play a bit of music and sing, and I play harmonica, not professionally anymore. And I started playing in South Africa. Then I came to Portugal, moved to Portugal, and I started performing in local bars. Nazaré was one of the places that I used to perform a lot. And people started saying to me, "You need to learn some Portuguese songs." And the first music that I got exposed to was yours. And one of the first Portuguese songs that I fell in love with was Anel de Ruby. Yeah. Love that song. Still love that song. Was playing it
very
before.
Simple song. Just
it's beautiful.
It's funny because all the women love that song. I mean, all the women. All in Portugal, in Angola, in Mozambique, in Cabo Verde. All the Portuguese ex-colonies. The Portuguese-speaking countries. They love that song. They call it Anel de Ruby. It's called Paixão Segundo na Nicolau da Viola. And it's actually a love song that ended bad. It has a bad ending. He takes us, he pawns the ring to buy the tickets for the gig. They go to the gig, and she lives in the middle of the concert because she hated the music. It's unbelievable. Still, it's a song that people love. It's a love song of you know. He was stuck alone in the concert, and she left. So that's why he says in the song, you cannot love someone that doesn't listen to the same song as you, doesn't like the same song. You have to, the same song meaning like the song is like an image of life. So you have to sing and listen to the same song to be happy. That's kind of the morale of the song is that. And it's like I'm the guy, I was left alone, and she left, said, I hate the song. I don't like this music. He was so happy. She pawned this ring, a ruby ring to buy the tickets, and then she left. You know, it happened to us in life. Yeah. I am divorced twice, so.
But what is it about your songs, do you think, that I mean, that song, I won a karaoke competition because of that song. So I know karaoke is maybe not your favorite thing, but I
don't mind.
I was singing karaoke. I sang first a song by U2 and then a song by George Michael. And then they said, you need to sing one more song to
convince the people.
And a friend of mine said, sing that one. And I sang it really badly, because it was at the early times. I couldn't speak Portuguese. But everybody loved it. And I won the karaoke competition because of your song. So there you go. There's some
No,
some
it was
trivia.
not because of my song. Because of you and because of the Portuguese loving that song specifically. It's a very famous song here. I'm moving now. Don't worry. I'm happy. Okay. I hope I don't fall.
I can tell you it wasn't because of my performance. That much I can tell you. I'm convinced of that.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that because you dared. The thing
you've got some other beautiful songs, Rui, and they're beautiful in their simplicity. You've got one that I love about, I can't remember the name, where you're singing about the river, I think the river in Porto.
Porto Sentido.
Yeah.
It's that one.
Exactly.
Yeah, very simple songs. Yeah, yeah.
Why do you think people connect so much with your music? Why do you think it means so much to them?
I wonder. And the thing is, it's not kids. The thing that puzzles me the most is kids. Like I used to have like 3-year-old kids, children. You used to, No Há Estrelas no Céu. That song is like an anthem for the kids, like 3-year-old, 4-year-old. How can you, with 3-4-year-old, connect to one specific song? But for 30 years I know that because they still connect to that song. Kids, little kids, and I don't know if I get to the kids. I do get to the big ones. So I don't know. I think it's a blend of stuff. The singing, the lyrics, the song. I don't know. It's difficult. Why do I love Stevie Wonder? I love him. I don't know. It's just the way it is. He made me cry a lot of times. Stevie and a lot of more people, so. It gets you. It goes straight to the heart.
Yeah. Your music goes to people's hearts, straight to the heart. It's wonderful.
I guess it comes from the, I don't know, the blues. I think it's very important. The blues, they are always in my music, even in Porto Sentido. If you hear the Porto Sentido, it's just one guitar, and then you get a little solo electric guitar on the back in the middle of the song, and you get like a bluesy solo, guitar solo, and it's just a naked song. It's just one guitar and then another guitar, solo guitar, and just a little bit of a snare rim shot and that's it, and vocal, and it's so simple, and but the blues is always there. I think the blues is a song that comes from the heart, the soul, whatever. And I think it's been very important for me during my life, having been able to get into the blues and playing them, because it's a very free music. We improvise a lot, the blues is, a lot of soloing stuff. The singing is never the same. So you can go this way, go that way. It's very, very free. So probably also that.
You picked up the harmonica when you were 6 years old. My baby, my boy, he's already started playing the harmonica. He's 2. I know that there's something that you hate, and hate is a strong word, but I know that there's something that you hate, and you hate these reality TV shows, these The Voice and Idols and this kind of thing. But I'm going to ask you if you could judge my boy's performance on his harmonica. Just for a second, I'm going to play it for you and tell me what you think. Okay, here we go. There's Benjamin. He's 2 years old.
2?
Yeah, here you go.
Yeah, well, it's kind of modern music.
Not a lot of variation, but he's got good spirit.
Yeah, it's like two chord. Yeah. It's contemporary music. He's going there.
He's got a lot of rhythm. And he's At that time when he played that, he was a year and a half. He picked up the harmonica and started playing it around. And
the main thing is most of the kids pick up the harmonica, do pa pa pa, and then throw it away, and they would go on about. So he's stuck to the harmonica.
He's still playing
it.
Yeah,
I actually learned to play in that kind of harmonica, which is not a blues harp. Then I got to the blues harp, and which is a harmonica where you can bend the notes. But I started with this kind of harmonica that my daddy used to have home, because he used to play the guitar, and he played in a tango band from the guys from a lot of friends, like engineers, doctors, lawyers. His friends, they had a tango band. They used to play tango the old way, Carlos Gardel, and So he was in the tango band, and he was in the Orfeão of the University of Porto. So he's quite a character. My dad would go to my grandfather's upright piano and then start playing a song. He invented stuff, and so just like me, and I got to get to the piano. I go and I just make up stuff,
Yeah, amazing. Do you want to play for our international listeners? Do you want to play us a line or two of one of those songs we spoke about? Have you got a moment?
Sure. So can you listen to this?
Yep, sounds good.
Okay, just a little bit, eh?
Just a little bit. Go for it.
Quem vem atravessa o rio, junto à Serra do Pilar, vê velho casario. This is about Porto, right? se estende até ao mar. Quem te vê ao vir da ponte, as cascatas de São Joanina, erigida sobre o monte, no meio da neblina, uruelas e calçadas, da ribeira até à foz, por pedras sujas e gastas e lampiões tristes e sós. E esse teu ar grave e sério no rosto de Cataria, que nos oculta um mistério dessa luz bela e sombria, verde assim abandonado, nesse timbre padecento, nesse teu jeito fechado, de quem morre o sentimento, e é sempre a primeira vez em cada regresso a casa, ver-te nessa altivez, vermelha profundo na asa. Yeah. So this song.
Okay. Yes, tell me.
This song in 1990, when I played the Porto Coliseum, Coliseo, with Bibi, there was this. I told Bibi, we are going to sing a song for you. So the Coliseum had about 3,000 people. It was 2 nights in a row, and completely sold out. I mean, 3,000 people inside the Coliseum. And it was a Sunday and a Monday. 30 years ago in Porto, no one used to go out on Sundays, not least Mondays. That used to be like Friday and Saturday, but Sunday used to be like everybody home, and Monday was the working day. No way. But still, the Bibi's show was sold out. And I told Bibi, we are going to sing a song for you. Oh, okay. So I start, in the middle of the show was this place. I start with my electric guitar singing. And the whole place sings the song, They all know the song. So when it comes to the chorus, it's like, wow! And Bibi was like, and the musicians are like, oh, what is happening here, And then Bibi tried to do a solo. Still, this is not a blues. It's kind of like a blues influence, but it's not a blues. It's kind of like different chords and several chords. And Bibi was like, it was hard for him to solo, so we missed a few notes. And but it was beautiful. It's on tape. And he came at the end. He said, hey, Rui, I'm sorry, I missed them. I said, oh, you're the master, man. You can do whatever you want. You can even miss notes because we don't care. And it's funny that, Bibi, the master, came and apologized to me for, missing some notes, which is not, still I hear it. I know the notes are wrong, but it feels right to me when I listen to and I see, because it's videotaped.
Well, I need to thank you because in 12 years I've never managed to be able to see you perform live. So finally,
Not even now. He was a Zoom.
I'll take it. Until I can see you perform live. I'm happy.
Next time you go to Porto.
With pleasure. And you're invited to come and have lunch with me sometime in Nazaré. And we'll go and have a good
Nazaré. In Nazaré, I invite you. I got Nazarene blood here,
in your blood. Beautiful.
My mom was born in Sitio.
Yeah.
In the hospital up there.
In the hospital in Sitio.
Yeah.
I love Sitio. It's beautiful.
Of course. It's incredible. I remember Praia do Norte, with Gareth and all the surfers. It was like forbidden to go there. It was like really dangerous place. My mom said, never go to Praia do Norte. We go and walk around, but never go into the water because you're going to die. It's really dangerous. Now, figure out, it's like one of the most famous places in the world.
It's crazy how things change.
Yeah.
Rui, how can people follow you online and what have you got coming up in the future that you're excited to share with us?
Not really much. I'm compiling stuff that I have on my phone because I had a lot of stuff in my phone, recording stuff that I do. So I'm compiling stuff. Like I have like almost 200 things to check out and to work on. Probably a few of them to work on. So I got my studio here nearby. It's like a professional, really pro studio. People come here and they're always recording there. So not really. I'm on Instagram and I do my Instagram whenever I feel like and putting whatever I feel like. Well, I'm trying to do something online. I would love to do a concert, not a concert. I would like to do several concerts, all different with different songs. But I'm still trying to find a platform where I can, do it from my studio, high quality video and everything, directing, and still manage people to pay, and for me to pay everybody, like my musicians. Everybody needs so much, so I'm very worried about that. So that's why I never did anything in Instagram or like a lot of people did, but with lower quality. I want it to be like, if people are going to pay, I want to give them the real good stuff.
We're going to put links in the show notes so people can follow you on Instagram and be kept up to date.
Yeah, please do. Thank you very much.
When you find a way to do something amazing online.
When I do it, I want to do it properly. And if the people pay, they got to get the right thing, not half-half,
I'm looking forward to it. Rui, this has been wonderful.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to ask you a question that we ask all of our guests. Portugal, the simple life, why?
Don't tell many people about that. Otherwise, we are going to be invaded. We don't want that. We want to keep the simple life. The simple life. It's a wrap.
So thank you once again to Rui, and thank you to all of you for listening. Please subscribe, share with your friends, give us a thumbs up, and please leave a comment or a review. We'd love to hear from you. And as we say in Portugal, abraço. Welcome to the simple life.